God. As you may know that I spent some time in Africa. I can make a long I wanted to elaborate on this, but I just took this from Pastor Chabelli's office. My mind has officially been blown. No. It's only for you. If I can make you laugh, that's... I've never laughed so hard, except for when, on the mission field or doing a word, Lord of the Word. So what's the theme of this convention? Waiting upon the Lord. Wow. I was just recently speaking about in Southern California about considering God as a God of the process. That God brings us to, God calls us to the promised land, and that we find a famine. God brings us to the edge of the Red Sea, and He's like going, okay. That God is a God of the process. We oftentimes think of our lives as, well, I can't wait to get there. I'm getting I can't wait to be able to do this, and all for this to happen and for that to happen in my life. But it's like God is the I am. That it says in Proverbs 3 that trust in the Lord with all thy heart, and lean not on your own understanding. And then it says this, acknowledge Him in all thy ways. I think that's a key to about the subject of waiting on the Lord. That we acknowledge the presence of God. Even at the very beginning, we acknowledge the presence of God in the process, and we acknowledge the presence of God when we get there, whatever it is that we've gotten to. And that God has promised to us that, when He gave us the church, the Great Commission, He said this, that go into all the world and teach, make disciples. And He said this, that with you, this is a promise that He made, with you is me. With you is the I am. And he has said that to Moses, and He said that to Joshua. He says, as I was with Moses, I will be with you. And I think that's a very key element of our life with God, our life of waiting upon God. That it's not, something that we're just sitting idle, but in the process of doing what we do, acknowledging Him in all that we have in front of us. Acknowledging Him in the processes and the details of life. And He says, this is His promise, that I will direct your paths. Yeah. I love that assurance of God's presence. Because when we acknowledge Him in all our ways and acknowledge His presence, there is this joy, right? I always consider all the great fun that we have in ministry. How many hours were we laughing, Cynthia, in Zambia on that bus? We're just endless laughing in the presence of the body, doing God's will, and just having such great joy. Because this is what the world system, our mind, and our natural mind, and the devil would want to steal from us, is this joy of the presence of God, no matter, in the details of life. Stealing the joy that's in our marriage, stealing the joy that's in the body of Christ, stealing the joy that's in the adventure of trusting God, in the adventure of faith, that He would have this bent or the desire to steal our joy. But if we acknowledge God in all and I love the foundation. This is amazing. This is what's key also. The foundation of the finished work allows us to be able to have the freedom to wait on God. Otherwise, we're playing religious games, religious mental gymnastics with ourselves on a day-to-day basis. Did I do enough? Am I good enough? It's all about actually why and what am I going to do? Where there is a who. Not the who's of Whoville, but there is a who. Who is like the Lord our God? Who is like Him? And He is a God who is a very present help in time of trouble. And my soul wait thou upon Lord, for in Him and of Him and from Him is I expect not, and my soul